Nice to see you. A bit of a frustrating afternoon in the end. How do you reflect on that performance?
Good performance in most parts of the game. There were moments when it was like Liverpool against Nick Pope, because I think it's the biggest challenge in football to play against a team which is that well organized, and create against a team which is that well organized and has such an outstanding attitude like Burnley has. But we created super chances. So, but there was always one guy who wanted to deny us, and it was Nick Pope. But that was the problem then pretty much of the game, because for different reasons, this result left the door open for Burnley. And so it was always clear they had corners where Ali was really under pressure from 3-4 players around, and then free kicks on top of that. Not too many, but some. And it was clear that they want to have these situations. When they had them, it was always a threat. Apart from that, in the game, how I said, we really did well. We should have scored more often, didn't do that. So I'm fine with the performance for 80 minutes, I would say. More than fine, because it was probably one of the best games we played against Burnley, but we didn't score. And that's why we only got a point.
And I just want to get your view on a couple of the incidents as well. I saw you talking to the ref after the game. There was that challenge on Andy Robertson, and there was also the build-up to Burnley's equaliser from a free kick given for offside, which wasn't offside. Just your view on those incidents.
No, I didn't speak about Andy Robertson's situation, because in the game I didn't see it. I saw it after the game. That was, yeah. So, I spoke about the goalkeeper situations. It's I know it's and I don't. I feel like we've lost the game. We didn't. I know that. And maybe it's not the best moment then to talk about these things. It would be good you win 4-0 and you could talk to a ref then about that, and I would have. But that's a problem. But how can you let it happen that a goalie constantly, when a corner comes in, is that much that 3 players are allowed to block him? That's just not how it should be. But for the ref, it was obviously not a foul or not a problem. And that's why he left. Didn't whistle in these situations, and that was what I told him. But that had no influence on the result. How I realized later.
Thank you, Emma. I don't have any other hands up, guys, unless someone wants to turn their thing off and ask. A quick press conference at this rate. Anyone? Chris Lasker.
Oh, sorry. I've talked about the kids. Jurgen, I mean, they were really good today. I thought, the confidence of Kurt is incredible, really, to watch how he played.
Yeah, so look, it's for a player with the creativity and the technical skills of Curtis, is a good game to play. If the boys around him create these moments where Curtis can then really use these skills, turn, good orientation. Our style of play suits him, so that he really can make can be quite impressive. I know that. But a lot of steps to go for him, obviously, but it was a good game, that's true. It's much more difficult than for Nico to play on that side against a team who is pretty much there for counter-attack and set pieces. But he did really well as well. So it was it was good, just good. So how I said, the game was a really good game, and they were all responsible for that. Then in the end, it was just a draw, and I can really not deny that it feels completely like we've lost the game, because we should have scored more often, and but we didn't, and that's our fault and nobody else's fault, and that's why it's 1-1.
Okay, thank you. Joe Bernstein next, and then Carl Markham and Dave Maddock. Joe Bernstein.
Yeah, Jurgen, it's a freak that Robert Firmino hasn't scored at Anfield this season, but how long does it go on before it becomes a real psychological problem for him?
It is not it cannot become a psychological problem, because Bobby played today an outstanding game and we don't judge him. So I hope he will not read your newspaper if you make a story of it, because we just don't think about it. It's not important who scores. Bobby, we need Bobby for other things. We need Bobby in exactly the spaces where he was today. We need him as a link up for all the other things. We only have chances in other positions because Bobby plays the way he plays, and he will score. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And we are not worried at all about that, because he played an outstanding game today, and was involved in so many decisive situations. In the end, nobody really scored apart from Robbo with a header, which is pretty exceptional. So no, will not become a problem.
Thank you. Carl Markham and Dave Maddock next. Carl.
Hi, Jurgen. Mentioning Robbo there, the rest on Wednesday seems to do him good. He came out so rejuvenated today. It was almost back to his old self today.
Yeah, it helps. So thank God. So because Millie was not available as well. So thank God that Nico is now here. So and made the big steps in training that we can give the boys this kind of rest. Robbo came on in the last game already and made a massive difference. There were only 45 minutes pretty much, which we saved him. And so that was really good. And today, of course, it was really good as well. So yeah, Nico is just is now here, and we can make these kind of decisions, and it's good.
Okay, we'll go to Dave Maddock. Dave?
Jurgen, I'm interested in, you speak about the young players and how they still have a lot to improve. Obviously, you want them to step up next season and sort of become proper first team reg players. How do they do that? What do they have to do to actually improve?
Nothing. Just train with us and get used to different situations. It's not that they have to now say, okay, your left foot is weak or stuff like this. It's not about that. It's just getting used to the situations and the different situations in a Premier League football game, to the intensity, to the look. In a moment, it's if they make a mistake, then it's like, okay, but they are still young and it's all true. And they are young and human beings. That makes it even more tricky. So all these things, just to gain stability, to be always there when you have to, and so that's not that they have to make incredible big steps. It's how I say it was. The best thing is you would have the experience of a 35-year-old player and the legs of a 20-year-old player. That is perfect, because with 35 years you saw so many situations on a pitch, and you experienced so many different moments that it's just not gets you anymore. It's just normal. So yes, it was totally intense today, and Burnley want to go for free kicks and stuff like this, and corners and all these things. We want we are constantly active, constantly in attacking situations. So how to deal with these situations, how to use spaces. That you learn that by while you're training with outstanding good football players, and that's exactly what they will do. And then it's always up to them. That's how it is. Who makes the best impression will get the first lineup shirt. That was always like this and will stay like this.
Final question, Ian Whittle. Ian.
Hi, Jurgen. Just to follow up on that slightly, Pep Guardiola's always talked about how difficult it is blooding young players when obviously the stakes are so high for clubs like you and Manchester City. You know, you're expected to win every single game. What challenges does that present with you, trying to bring on young players when the stakes are so high? Every game is such a big game for a club like yours.
I'm not sure it's about how high the stakes are. It's about how ready are the boys. So I never thought really. I never made that comparison. We play for everything, and that's why you need to be in a specific age. It's not. There are no old and young players. There are only good and not so good players. So, and I hope we have only good players, or especially or even exceptional players. And so who is in our squad should be ready to play. That's why he's in a squad. That means that the age is only one information from 500 other informations. But the problem with not young players and general players who are not now in the first line, the team is really good. So, and as long as we show the attitude we showed today again, then it's just difficult to have like 40 games in a row. But young players have so much time in their hands that they really can improve and don't have the pressure, especially not from us, that it's if they use the time, then the future is beautiful for them.
Thanks, guys. Have a safe journey home for those of you here.
Thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.